said she too young, don't want no man. So she gon' call her friends, now that's a plan. I just ordered sushi from Japan.
Hey guys, welcome back to another client transformation video. In this video we have Anna and we are doing a really vampy fall makeup tutorial. So if that is something that you're interested in, then please keep on watching. So to start, we're going to start with her brows. I am using a CoverGirl brow pencil. This is in the shade Soft Brown. And the reason I chose to go in with a brow pencil is because Anna has pretty naturally full brows. And when you have naturally full brows, you can pretty much just go in with a pencil and just lightly fill them in and fill in those sparse areas. That is pretty much what a brow pencil is made for, just to fill in the sparse areas. And also to define the line underneath, because most of the time the bottom of your brow doesn't really have much definition. So I spoolie through all of that and then I take some concealer. This is from the Krylon Concealer Circle, and a flat definer brush from BH Cosmetics, and I am just going to sharpen up underneath. I'm not going to do it up top, mainly because, like I said, she has naturally full brows already, but I do want to clean up underneath so that way when I go ahead and prime for concealer, it's already halfway there. And to prime with concealer, I am going to use the same thing, and I'm going to use a Pretty Bar rounded kind of kabuki brush. And the reason I'm using concealer is because it's really great when using concealer for priming the lids. It cancels out any of the darkness or any redness in her personal case. But I'm going to make sure I set that concealer down with a translucent setting powder because it is pretty darn thick. So to start off, I'm going to take Frappe from Makeup Geek, and this is just a lighter kind of transition shade on her skin tone. She's kind of like a tan kind of shade, so it shows up pretty darn red on her. And I'm using a Sigma E35 blending brush. This is going to be her transition shade, so this is going to be the shade that bridges from the brow bone to the crease shade and also to the deepening shade. We're going to be using a ton of Makeup Geek shadows in this eyeshadow look. So the next one we're going to use is Cherry Cola, which Cherry Cola is, for me, it's more of like a lighter kind of burgundy shade. On her, it's a little bit deeper and darker, which I like to use the same shades that I would use on lighter skin tones, just so you guys can see the difference of how they look when you're using it on someone a little bit lighter. And in her case, it's more of like a maroon shade. So I'm using that with a Morphe blending brush, and I'm going to use this Morphe blending brush with two different colors, and I'm just working that out into the outer V and then blending it in. And then I'm going to use the shade Americano, which is really deep and really dark. It's like the darkest maroon shade that I have, and I'm going to pack that out into the outer corner and blend it lightly. I'm not bringing it up past Cherry Cola. I'm keeping it pretty tight to her crease because I want this to be the deepest and the darkest. I am going to go in with a little bit of black, mainly because I wanted to make sure it was really deep, so I'm using Corrupt by Makeup Geek as well, and really adding some definition. And I'm using this Makeup Geek like outer V brush or something like that. I love this brush, it's so amazing. But I'm applying that black out into the outer corner. I'm not going to blend it into the crease, but I am going to take that same blending brush and make sure that I blend all of these shades together, because you don't want this black to really overpower the look, but you want the black to be there just enough to where you know that you added some definition, if you know what I mean, and some depth. So now I'm going to take some concealer and just do a half cut crease. She does have smaller lid space, so I'm bringing it up pretty far into the crease, and then I'm going to blend it out into the outer corner, so towards that black. And this is going to add a tacky base for the shimmer shade that we apply on the lid, so that way the shimmer is a little bit more foiled. For the shimmer shade, I'm taking the Norvina palette and I'm taking Dazzling out of it. It's kind of like a rose gold color. It's pretty much true rose gold. It's really pretty. And I'm taking a flat eyeshadow brush from Morphe and just packing this all over the lid, and it's going to be really foiled and really poppin'. And then I'm going to take this liquid lipstick by CoverGirl. I forget what the shade name is, but I'm using this as eyeliner pretty much. So I'm taking a Sigma EO9 wing liner brush, and I am going to just do a wing liner because I don't have a really dark maroon. So this shade is actually Never Say Never, so that's what it is. And now I'm using the CoverGirl mascara. It's their Peacock mascara that just came out. It's pretty much similar to the orange and the green tube of mascara, but I'm coating her lashes for mascara just because when I apply false eyelashes, I want to make sure that her lashes, which are probably brown, blend in with the black lashes. So for lashes, she's using like a small kind of demi wispy kind of lash, like an Ardell Demi Wispy, but they aren't Ardell, they're Allure, but they're a Demi Wispy. So popping those onto the lash line, so that way you have some fullness and some definition to the lashes. If you have really, really long lashes, don't worry about it, but if you don't, apply some false eyelashes. They really make or break a look. And then I'm using the CoverGirl Pore Minimizing Face Primer to prime her skin. Everyone and their mom has pores, unfortunately, so that is why I decided to go in with the pore minimizing one. And I'm just using a foundation brush just to go over all of the areas where I'm priming her skin. I'm making sure I hit the forehead, the cheeks, the nose, the chin, all of that. And then I'm going to go in with the Benefit Hello Happy Foundation. This is in the shade 7. Now, this foundation is a little bit more natural, but it is buildable. So I ended up using, I believe, like 2 to 3 layers in some areas of this foundation just to really get a nice full coverage kind of look. But if that is not your style or your skilo, then, you know, you can just use it as it's directed, so as a lightweight kind of foundation. But it does build up, and it's really nice. And for concealer, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 10. This is the shade 10, which is a nice highlighting shade for her. But I am going to go in with shade 11 or shade 15, which is a little bit lighter, just to further brighten it, because I really like bright under eye and highlighted areas. So here I am using a little bit of shade 15, which is lighter, but it's a bigger number. It doesn't make sense to me either, but I'm going to blend that out with the same Morphe Brushes blending sponge that I use for her foundation. I really like using this sponge for clients. I wish I had a lot more of these, but I only have one right now. But I like using them for clients and not so much for myself. I feel like for myself it's just not as bouncy. I don't know, I'm really weird. But I'm blending all of that out with that sponge, and then I'm just going to set it all with the same Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, because this is the absolute best translucent setting powder I've ever found. It's not super white, but it is light enough to where it does brighten. It's a really nice powder, you guys. Super silky, makes it last all day. And like I mentioned, I'm just using it with the same blending sponge. I find that it molds and melts into the skin really nicely with the wet sponge. And then while I'm waiting for her under eye to bake, I'm going to use the Hoola Benefit bronzer, and using an angled blush brush just to bronze up the skin, just add a little bit of warmth. The Hoola bronzer is the best bronzer out there. I'm not even kidding. It works on all skin tones, lighter skin tones, darker skin tones. It's a really nice bronzer, and I suggest it for everyone. And then for blush, I'm using the Benefit Gold Rush blush. Now this blush, it didn't show up as much as I wanted it to, but it does have some gold reflex, so it does naturally highlight the skin. So if you did want to just use this blush in replace of like a highlight, you'll have a nice little glow to it. But I'm going to go into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sun Dipped Glow Kit and take the shade Moonstone and highlight the skin. This M510 brush is so amazing. I love using it on everyone, myself, my clients, everyone. It is a really nice brush, nice and fluffy. I think I'm gonna get some more, but look at this highlight, you guys. Oh, let's take a moment. Oh, so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous, you guys. So after applying that everywhere, I'm going to use some more of that Hoola bronzer with an e.l.f. Crease brush and just contour down the side of the nose. This is just going to further snatch the nose, because we always have to be snatched, you guys. And then take some more of that setting powder along the side just to further contour and slim down the nose and everything like that. It is optional, of course, you don't have to do that, but it is one of my favorite steps to do on myself and also clients. And then I'm taking some more of Moonstone on the tip and the bridge of the nose to further highlight. And now we're going to move back up to the eyes. So I'm taking some more of, I believe this is Cherry Cola, just on the lower lash line, just to smoke it out, because I didn't want it to be super top heavy, so I decided to go in with a pencil brush and smoke that out. And then I'm going to take some more of Corrupt really tight on the lower lash line and just add that definition down there. Also, I'm applying some black eyeliner. This is going to shorten and make her eyes appear a little bit smaller, but it will make it smolder and sexy. So we're doing that, and then I'm taking Dreamer out of the Norvina palette and popping that right into the inner corner. This is just going to brighten that inner corner, make her look a little bit more awake, and make it look poppin', of course. And then the final step for the face is setting her face. So I'm using the Mario Badescu facial spray with lavender and chamomile and just setting and refreshing her face so everything is molded together. And now we're going back to the lips, and we are using Never Say Never by CoverGirl. It's a melting pout liquid lipstick, and I'm just applying this all over the lips. In hindsight, I wish I would have used a lighter color. I should have used more of like a mauve-y kind of color as opposed to but I never get to do really dark lips on white women, so I was like, let's do something really vampy. Plus it ties in with the eyeliner that we use. But after that, you guys, that pretty much wraps up my video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoy these client makeup tutorials, please let me know so that way I can bring more clients on, or even the same ones, and just do different looks. I love you all so much. Don't forget to subscribe before you go if you enjoyed, and also give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah. Bye.